with Ron Paul's face on it. They don't want anything like that. It's dictatorial, and you're right back to square one again.
Well, I mean, take Dave & Buster's. For folks that don't have that in their area of the country, it's a big place with 3 or 4 restaurants and whack-a-mole games and foosball and skeet ball and all that stuff. And you can take the kids there and eat dinner and then, you know, go spend a few bucks. But in the old days, you'd get tokens. Now you get a debit card, but you put your $20 bill in and then you get tokens. That'd be like the Secret Service hiding out at Dave & Buster's or an arcade, arresting the arcade owner for giving people tokens for dollars. I mean, this is just unbelievable that this is happening. And these guys were out in the open doing nothing wrong. And this coin that I got back at the time for $5, because I let listeners pay for videos, with silver coin. It just needs to be denominated, you know, in the amount of the books and videos they buy. And I've gotten quite a bit of silver in the mail over the years. And these collector's items I got for $5 a piece back when silver was at $5, 5-6 years ago. This coin is worth hundreds on eBay. So I guess I did a pretty good thing. But maybe I'll be arrested, Bob, for even having this because I'm in such a free country.
Well, you know, that may eventually happen. You know, government has the ability to outlaw anything, and that's why they have executive orders, which I think should be totally done away with, along with lobbying and campaign finance. And I have the solutions for them. But the path that we're taking here is that the government is going to, in the future, outlaw lots of things. And if we have high unemployment, which I think we will have, 35, maybe 50%, because we're already at 22.4 or 20.4%, and it's not going to be difficult to get much higher. I think the people will finally say, no, we're not going to do that. And that's where the steel will meet the brick, and we're going to find out just how far the government's willing to go.
Well, I mean, my grandmother, still alive, great lady, she remembers being a little girl in Dallas, and my grandfather was from Dallas as well, and he remembers his daddy having to go turn in their gold, wink, wink, they didn't turn it all in, $4 back from the Federal Reserve, and then at half price, what the government said, no, gold is worth this much, and then a year later, the feds doubled the price of gold and made profits, and private banks were given that money. So I guess if Americans are told today to give their kids to the government, if they told them throw your kids off a cliff, they might do it. We're going to come back and take calls for Bob Chapman, but here's WorldNet Daily reporting on the Baltimore Sun, man arrested for using $2 bill. Folks, $2 bills, even Federal Reserve money. They don't care. They have a hunger to put you in prison. We'll be right back.
Finally in the news this evening, it's being reported that cyber spies from Russia and China have now penetrated our power grid. Even as energy experts are reporting that each summer we get closer and closer to the limits of our nation's power grid, some say that this summer's demand for electrical power may finally push the grid over its edge, creating a cascade of power outages across the country, putting us all in the dark.
Are you prepared for the next round of storm-related outages or government-created blackouts? Have you ever thought about taking steps to get off the grid and generate your own private supply of electrical power? If so, this will be the most important information you have ever heard. Solar-powered generators are finally available. They have no moving parts to wear out or break and require absolutely no gas whatsoever. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Check out mysolarbackup.com before you lose your power.
All right, Bob Chapman, let's go to some phone calls here. Bob's going to be with us for 15 minutes in the next hour, so plenty of time to take your calls. If you think it's kooky to not want to drink sodium fluoride in your water, wait till we have a doctor here in studio with us coming up later in the next hour. Todd in Texas, you're on the air with Bob Chapman and Alex Jones. Go ahead.
Good day, gentlemen. I am en route to an appointment where I will become a bronze member of the police state control grid. I'm a Texas educator. Alex, can you guess what I'm getting ready to go and do?
You're getting ready to go be biometrically scanned?
Yes, I am. And let me tell you, it sickens me to the very core of my being, sir. I've been an educator for 10 years. I have literally kept kids from committing suicide, and this is how I'm being repaid. I've contacted my representatives. I've contacted the ACLU. I've contacted the Texas Education Agency, and I didn't realize it, but I really angered the director of fingerprinting and investigations when he said he was just doing his job, and I said that was the defense they used at Nuremberg. So I just thought that, I'd commemorate this day by calling in and letting you know.
Well, I guessed because I know that a lot of educators are having to do it right now to get ready for next year to start, but they lie and say you've got to be vaccinated. You don't. They lie and say you've got to be fingerprinted. It is a policy. They call it a law, but all over the nation and all over the world, this is being standardized, and the big think tanks admit to get everybody ready to thumbprint, to buy and sell, because they're going to skip ahead of the world currency. You're going to still have regional currencies. It's just going to all be globally standardized. This is all under UN treaty already. And so that's why you'll see a 80-year-old man at Walgreens showing his ID to buy pipe tobacco. I've seen an ancient man on the little four-ended walker, barely able to get his money up to the counter, showing his ID to the missy, literally going, here you go, and because it's all about mindless, zero-tolerance enforcement. Oh, the 10-year-old's got in a fist fight. You go to prison now. You don't get in trouble and get swats or get sent home or get patted on the back and told, good job, boys, like they're supposed to be men. It's all about throwing the book at you. And so CPAs, lawyers, people that are involved in real estate at all levels, not just the brokers, but also the real estate agents. Everybody's having to thumbprint and digital photo. They don't tell you it's a face scan. Head Start comes in, does it to your kids, doesn't even ask you. This is all this, in their own words, cashless society control grid being put in. Bob Chapman comments on this. This is the Federal Reserve omnibus global banking scheme, making the slaves only use their currency, only use their system, killing all anonymity, all freedom. Nothing to do with protecting the kids.
Yes, you're right. And what they ultimately want is a chip or a debit card. And if you say one thing out of the way about government, your debit card doesn't work anymore, and your chip shuts down. And this is where they're headed with all this.
And by the way, used to, we didn't even have driver's license. Then we had driver's license. Now, if you don't face print, thumbprint, handprint, you don't get in Disney World, you don't get in SeaWorld. If you don't follow every order we give you, you don't eat, you don't have a job. And now it's guilty until proven innocent. But then the schools will keep the pedophiles working there. This has nothing to do with that either. This is about training Todd that he's a slave. Todd, what do the other teachers think?
I have a couple people that I've worked with over the years that have slowly come around. I've given them, I've passed out literally about 2,000 of your films and found the way into the hands of educators, and they've watched it. But really,
Stay there. I want to hear more. Back in 70 seconds.